Okay guys, just a quick tutorial on the new iTalkpttweb guarding setup. Firstly, what you'll need to do is ensure that you have a 200 NFC radio. So the first thing you do, and if you hover over the left hand side, you'll see all the options here for guarding. Everything under guarding is under the guarding banner, which is right here. If you click on it, you'll see all the reports as well as manage. Setting up guarding falls under manage, so you click on manage and you'll further see sites, shifts, site emails, company emails, and business unit emails. To set up a site with points, you click on sites, you click on add, and at this point it will ask you select business unit. If you've got sub business units inside a company, you would select it. In my case, I don't have any, so I'm just going to select none. Then you'll type in the name and save it, at which point a block will pop up. When it asks you select a scan device, this is only for the setup of the points. So you would select the device that you are using to set up the site. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same radio that you are using on the site itself. So for my purposes, I'm using the iTalk 200 NFC to set up my points. You click select, and all you'll then need to do is scan each point.
Not in active patrol.
When you scan the point number appears here, and also a name. You could name this however you'd like: back door, front door. In my case, I'm just going to name it normal tag 1. Right, you've got 3 options at the bottom: normal tag, action tag, and emergency tag. For the first one, it's a standard scan tag. You just click scan and you move on. You then save it. You'll see that it now has appeared under this point as the first tag that we have saved. You then move on to the next tag.
Not in active patrol.
For this purposes, I'm actually going to call this action tag 1. You'll notice I selected action, and when you select action, you'll see there's three options here that they give you. Action 1, you could notify the guard to check the gate, check the door, check the lights. So you'll be able to give the guard instructions on exactly how to when he gets to that specific point, the radio will instruct him: check the door, check the lights, etc. And he'll have to acknowledge each of those instructions. The third type of tag, which I'm going to use, I'm going to set up,
not in active patrol.
It's going to be an emergency tag. And just so most of you guys have not used it, an emergency tag is a tag outside the patrol, which is used when the guard is being forced to do his patrols while they're being robbed or things. So that what happens is that it's a silent emergency on the radio side that sends out to the controller as well as other radios, if you use the panic list, to notify them that that specific guard is doing his patrol but he has a problem. So this is a tag that is pretty much outside of the standard patrol, but is there in the case of an emergency where the guard has a problem. He tags that, it'll pop up as an emergency on the controller side, as well as if he set up panic lists, it'll also notify them that this guy is in a panic at the moment. So once you've done with your tags itself, all you're going to do is click save. At this point, your site and tags are now set up. The system will then ask you create a shift. I will say yes. Right. It'll then give you that, you'll see there it shows the name of the site. You will then at this point select the radio that you're going to be using for the patrol. So in my situation, I've only got the one radio that's an NFC, so I'm going to click on it, submit. So your schedule name is the first option that you will have. This would be your site. If it was called Spa Durban North, you'd actually type that in. Then you have select your device that would have already been there because you've selected it previously. If you are in different time zones, you'll be able to select it here. In our case, it's Africa, Johannesburg. You'll then need to click to type in for the emergency procedure what shows up when the guard fails his patrol. So you could say contact supervisor. At that point, you'll see the add shift has now appeared. Once we've completed all of that, you click add shift and you scroll down. Right. So in the past, our reports used to run 6 to 6. Now it runs according to this shift. So that shift name there, we will call it day shift. Right, and I basically want to set up a patrol 6 in the morning to 6 at night. That's the first patrols, and then 6 in the night to 6 in the morning, that's the night shift. So the day shift, all I'll do is I'll click on start time 0600, end time 1800 hours. The patrol will be 60 minutes, the rest will be 60 minutes. We've added on the minimum time between points. So how that works is when he tags his first point, if I select 5 minutes here, what's going to happen is the radio is going to start a countdown timer the moment he hits that point, and it's only going to allow him to scan correctly after 5 minutes. So if he tries to rush through his patrol, does the first point and runs to the next point under 5 minutes, the radio is going to actually tell him too fast. So this is an addition that we've added to the system. So it forces the guard not to rush through his patrol. The next thing is the days, and it's just straightforward. You click the days that you require and then you save it. Right, so I've pretty much sorted out the day shift. If I click again, add shift, I create the night shift, 1800 hours to 0600, same exact quantities, 60, 5 minutes, and every day. So what this is actually going to do, and I want to show you the way the reports are run, just so you understand why it's set up this way. The first thing that I created was day shift, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. At exactly 6 p.m., the reports are generated and sent through to the emails that we specify. On the second one, at exactly 6 a.m. in the morning, the report's generated and sent through. So what it does now is it sends out the report based on how you set up the shift. So if guys who are working 6 to 6, you're going to have a report for that particular guard. You'll notice I updated all just to make sure that everything has been uploaded to the radios. This particular everything that you have on this end of the schedule, you'll be able to delete and edit. The next thing that you will need to do is the site emails. So these are the auto-generated emails that will come through based on how you set up the shifts itself. You'll see my site that I have created is test training. To set those up, you click edit, you click add, and you put in the email address. And what this will then do is for that site, based on how you set up each shift, like the way we set up day shift and night shift, it's now going to send those emails directly once the shift has ended, it will send through those emails. And you could add multiple to these. There is no limit on the amount of emails that you need to. Something that we've added on further to that is the company emails. So you'll be able to send through an overview of an overall company of patrols, which is basically every single patrol as one collective email. Alternatively, you could view it as well on the viewing side. But this, in terms of adding that, it's exactly the same procedure. Just click add, type in the email address and save. And that will send it through on a daily basis, the overview of the overall company. If you've subdivided your companies into business units, as I explained earlier, you would also be able to send through business unit reports. So subdivisions inside the company, you'll be able to send a report for just those radios that are in that subdivision. The reporting has changed quite a lot, so you guys will be able to see that there's much more information on the reports, which we will do a separate training video on the reporting itself. But that's pretty much setting up start to end in terms of your guarding patrols.